Mostly taking the suit off, taking the gunk out of my hair and makeup off and all that stuff was sufficiently cleansing enough to feel like you leave the character at home. Leave the character at work, I should say. But yeah, part of Don's setup was that this was going to catch up to him, I think. This duality was going to eventually eat him up. And it did. And I think that that's kind of the poetic beauty of the whole story and the way it ends, too, is that he goes on this sort of cleansing journey. He goes on this Siddhartha-esque, leaving, getting rid of all of the things in his life, getting rid of his car and his money and his clothes and all of the stuff that he's worked so hard to acquire, getting rid of it all, giving it away. And coming to the end of the country, the end of the world, a cliff, literally a cliff. There's nowhere else to run. He's at the end of the country. And coming to some place of peace and realizing that as far as you want to run, this is still who you are. Wherever you go, there you are, right? Mm. This is still who he is. Moment of clarity. He's still an advertising guy. As much as he doesn't want to be it, doesn't think he is, thinks he's Dick Whitman, he's not Don Draper. What is Don Draper? Who is Don Draper? It's just a name. It's just a name. He's a salesman. He's a creative person. And I think the brilliance of using the iconic Coca-Cola ad, Hilltop, Teach the World to Sing, is that it's, for people of my generation, it obviously doesn't resonate with anybody in the millennial generation, because the idea of selling out is completely not an issue anymore. Selling out is just living your life. That entire generation is living their lives in front of cameras and sharing everything and trying to establish their personal brand and selling themselves at every possible way they can. That's their whole existence. But back in the 70s, this idea of selling out and commercializing everything was still very kind of touchy, because it was coming out of the counterculture, and art was supposed to be pure, and so the genius of that ad was that it was the first time that they kind of really got the sentimentality of it that was real and worked, and then also it was the commercial part of it. Because I remember watching that ad as a little kid and thinking, this is so important, like this is so beautiful, it's so nice, it's so wonderful. You know what I really would go for? I could go for a Coca-Cola right now. But advertising doesn't work on me.
Right. But it was, like you say, was coming from a pure place.
No, it wasn't. It was coming from a place of trying to sell Coke. Hippies were the thing. They were like, hippies are the thing. Cool. Let's all get together and love each other. We got to sell this stuff. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, it's funny to me with all
it was perceived that way.
Yeah.
And it was a lovely song. And it was a lovely thing.